White says, I'm alone in the forest. I'm a small girl. I don't want to remain here. I don't know what to do. Narrator says. Then she began to run from there. The small girl from the forest, she runs. And just as evening was about to fall, she saw a little house and went inside. During the evening, just as evening was about to fall, she saw a little house. She sees in the forest a small house, and she went inside. Snow White. Oh, this house is so beautiful. Everything is so small but clean. She said, there's a small house. Let me go there. And she goes and she said, oh, this house is very beautiful. It's so small, but no problem. It's very clean. Now narrator says, the table was set with 7 little plates. Now see, the house. She reaches now here, and there was food on the plates. There were 7 little beds, all neatly made. Now she reaches in the forest. There was a house. She reaches that house, and she sees on the table. You see, there are 7 plates, and in that plates there was a food, and there was also little beds, and everything was neatly maintained, neatly made. Now Snow White, I'm so hungry. I will eat some vegetables and little bread from each little plate, and from each cup I will drink a bit of milk. Snow White says, I'm so hungry. Now in this plate I can see vegetables, I can see little bread. So what I do is, and there is a milk, and what I do is, I'm going to eat everything, little by little from each plate, and also I'm going to drink a bit of milk. Narrator. Since she was tired, she laid down on one of the little beds and fell fast asleep. She was tired because she was all the time running in the forest, isn't it? So she said, let me rest, and she goes to the bed and she sleeps. Narrator. After dark, the owners of the house returned home. They were the 7 dwarfs who mined for gold of the mountains. When they arrived home, they were surprised to see that someone had been into their house. Now these, see, Toppy, Grumpy, Happy, Dog, Sneezy, Bashful, Sleepy, all these are arriving, coming back to their house. As they come back, they see a small little girl, beautiful girl, Snow White. And what do they say? Speak to her, let's say. Who has been sitting? Now Toppy says, who has been sitting in my chair? Grumpy says, who has been eating from my plate? Another one says, who has been eating my bread? Sneezy said, because from every plate she has taken something, isn't it? So all these 7 people are asking her. They're questioning, who has taken from my plate? Who has been eating my vegetables? Who has been eating with my fork? Who has been drinking from my cup? Now all these 7 people are asking. Now narrator says, but the 7th one looking at his bed found Snow White lying there asleep. 7th one will not ask question anything. He sees that Snow White is resting on the bed fast asleep. Happy, look over here, come quick. Narrator. Happy says, look over here, come quick. Narrator. The 6 dwarfs all came in. The 7th one's name is Happy. He says, you come here, see some child is sleeping on the bed. All the 6 dwarfs came running and they cried out with amazement. They were surprised to see that one, that is Snow White. Dwarfs. Now they all together say in one voice, oh good heaven, this child is so beautiful. All felt happy. Narrator. They did not wake her up. Because she was fast asleep. But let her continue to sleep in the bed. The next morning, Snow White woke up, and when she saw the 7 dwarfs, she was frightened. She was fast asleep, and these 7 men are coming closer to her near the bed, and they all are admiring her because she was so beautiful. Then they didn't want to disturb her, so they leave her like that. Only next day she gets up and she sees all these 7 men, small men, and she was so frightened. Now Snow White, oh no. Toppy said, don't be afraid of us. What is your name? He says, looking at us, don't get afraid. We would like to know your name. What's your name? Snow White says, my name is Snow White. Grumpy says, how did you find your way to our house? How come you found the way? How did you come to our house? Snow White said, my stepmother tried to kill me, but the huntsman let me free, and that's how I had to run the entire day through the forest. Finally, I got to your house. You understood, isn't it? She said, see, my mother, when I was small, she passed away. Then my daddy married another one. Now she became my stepmother. Now what, she was very jealous of me because I was beautiful than her. So she wanted to kill me. So what happened? The huntsman brought me to the forest. He left me here because she wanted to kill me, isn't it? So I was running here and there with fear in the forest. Then finally I got your house. Then I entered your house. He says all that. Snow White says that, shares a story. Narrator. The dwarfs spoke with one another for a while and they decided to let her stay with them. Now, dwarfs all feel happy to see her. They are happy with her. They say, okay, now let's allow her to stay in our house. Let her not go from here. Dwarfs, if you will keep house for us and cook, make beds, wash, sew, knit, and keep everything clean and orderly, then you can stay with us and you shall have everything that you want. Dwarfs say, if you do our housework, work, if you do everything, you can stay on here, need not to go from here. Snow White says, yes, with all my heart I will do. I will help you all out in your work. Okay, now Snow White stays in their house, dwarf's house. Now what happened? Now narrator said. So now page 28. So Snow White lived happily with the dwarfs. Every morning they went to the mountains looking for gold. They instructed Snow White not to open the doors to strangers or accept anything from strangers. In the evening, when they came back home, Snow White had their meal ready and their house clean. Meanwhile, at the palace. Okay, now what happens? Now all the 7 dogs are going to the mountain. Before going, as they leaving home, they are saying, Snow White, see, if any strangers come, do not open the door. Even if they give you something to eat, don't accept from their hands. You need to be careful. So she says yes, and she keeps ready everything, meals for them. When they come back, everything is set on the table. At that time, what happens? She cleaned the house also, and at that time, stepmother comes. Stepmother. Mirror, mirror. Now she goes to the mirror. Who in this land is the most beautiful of all? She's asking same question. Now mirror says, you my queen, beautiful. It's true. But Snow White, beyond the mountains with the 7 dwarfs, is still 1,000 times more beautiful than you. Same answer she is giving. Now she is not here. She is beyond the mountain. Even if she is not here, she is more beautiful than you. Narrator. The queen was very angry. She is getting angry. Now stepmother, now I understand. Oh, that huntsman deceived me. I have to think of something to kill Snow White. He said, now I understood. Now she is not yet died. She is there somewhere else. Now this one huntsman deceived. Deceived means by telling lies, he deceived me. Andre nannanu ಸೋಲಿಸಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳಿ. Okay. After think of something to kill Snow White. Narrator. She went into a more secret room and made a poisonous apple. Now she said now she feels very jealous and also at the same time she is getting angry and she wants to teach a lesson to that man, huntsman. Now what she does? She plans to kill her. So she goes to the room secretly without telling anyone and she makes an apple, poisonous apple. She mixes poison to that apple. Stepmother, with this poison apple you will die. Snow White, by herself inside the room. She has closed the door and no one is there beside her, around her. So she laughs loudly looking at that poisonous apple and she says, okay, after this, hereafter you will not live. You will die by eating this apple. Narrator. From the side, the apple was beautiful and shiny. But anyone who might eat a little piece of it would die. Means what she has prepared, the apple is so beautiful outside. There is a beauty. So beautiful. Cannot even make out there is a poison is added to that. Stepmother, I have to disguise myself so that she doesn't recognize me. Then I will go to those forests. Okay, now if I go in my daily dress, usual dress, she will recognize me. So what I do is, I must change my dress. By looking at me, she couldn't make out that I am her stepmother. And she changes her dress. She holds herself like a woman in the sense aged woman. Now what she does, you see. Narrator, disguised as a peddler woman. See in the picture how she looks. She traveled to the dwarf's house and knocked on the door. Snow White put her head out of the window. Now what happens? She goes to dwarf's house and
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.